Around the world will this week compete for 5 million rand at the Kimberley Diamond Cup. The entire competition has been done in phases as part of its plan to develop young talent and also take skateboarding into the far reaches of the country. And of course, a competition of this nature also is filled with lots of activities. We have the likes of hip-hop artists A.K.A. and Deleuze. They're on the lineup to entertain the crowd. Joining us now to discuss this further is Tim McFerran, the organiser of the event, Johann van Schalkwyk, as well as he's the project manager, I should add. Sipho Ngwenya is joining us as well. He's the Kimberley Diamond Cup Ambassador. Good morning and welcome to you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
Tim, I'm going to start with you. Skateboarding is a rather unconventional sport, if you can even call it a sport, but I understand it's growing in leaps and bounds.
Yes, it's actually the fastest growing sport in the world right now, and it's something that the youth can really embrace. And we're pretty excited about skateboarding coming to South Africa and what it's done to the industry of skateboarding here in South Africa, and also what it's done for the Northern Cape.
Johann, how has the local community in the Northern Cape, how have they received skateboarding and what impact does it have on them?
Well, the most amazing thing about skateboarding has been adopted in the Northern Cape very enthusiastically. And we now see a lot of skaters coming to the park. We see a lot of skaters in the street, and the government then uses that opportunity also to do some development. Our youth, they don't come from rich families. There's not enough money to send them to universities. So skateboarding then becomes a positive alternative lifestyle to loitering and all other bad things. And then they get an opportunity to actually maintain their self-image and their self-worth. And that's why the government's really in that, as we help the youth to actually make sure that they still feel valuable.
It is a culture, isn't it, Sipho? I mean, you're known, A.K.A. as Sipho. There's that whole hip-hop community that's going on around this. What impact does it have on the youth? Johann touched on the fact that development is also used when it comes to skateboarding. How do you send the message, in music, etc., when it comes to skateboarding?
Well, like Johann said, I mean, it is something that gets kids off the streets. And hip-hop is also one of those musical genres that lets kids express themselves in a way that they may not be able to express themselves. So it's a freedom of speech, as well as us just getting on the park and emceeing the whole event and performing and having the two worlds come together. Because a lot of guys come to me and say, hey, but we see a lot of white skaters, you know what I mean? But if you actually look at the events that we've done so far, you'll see how many black kids are coming through skating who love, just music also. And hip-hop is also a way of just bringing the two worlds together. And
you're the ambassador of this event. So what role do you play in going out and sending the community? Have you been to the townships and spread the message? Well,
I was involved in this event 3 years ago when the Northern Cape provincial government called me up and said, yo, would you like to be a part of this whole thing? At first it was a gradual process, but now I'm fully involved in the whole event as an ambassador, as trying to tell kids in our province, leave the drugs, leave the alcohol. There is another alternative. And like Tim said, in our country, we only have soccer and cricket and rugby and all these sports as our national sports. But skateboarding is that sport that you just need a skateboard, and it's just you, and you just get on the road and just do your own thing.
It can be much cheaper. Tim, I want to come back to you and talk about the event itself. Tell me about the different categories and how you judge one competitor from another and the success thereof, and also that 5 million rand overall money that's involved, that's up for grabs. Tell us a bit about the event.
Well, this is actually the World Championship, so if you think in perspective, it's like having the World Cup Championship game here. This is in skateboarding. So it's a very big event, and we're fortunate enough to have Kumba, somebody who's very social, responsible, to be involved in our event. But this event starts out with some amateurs. We've really grown the amateur competitions here in South Africa, and we've taken kids from 7 or 8 years old now who are now very, very good skaters at 10 or 12 from 3 years. Huge improvement. We went to Greenpoint. I'm sorry to get off track a little bit, but we went to Greenpoint, which is a very disadvantaged neighborhood in Kimberley. And to see those kids improve, give them a skateboard 3 years ago and see where they are today is just inspiring. But this is more than a contest. But for this weekend, it's about the contest, it's about music, and it's about having fun.
And why have you chosen to host this event? I mean, you have the usual suspects, Durban, Gauteng, Durban, Johannesburg, and Cape Town. And now it's in the Northern Cape in Kimberley. Why have you decided to embrace this?
Well, the province is a province of extremes. We've got 3 deserts, the Karoo, the Kalahari, the Richtersveld, 2 of the biggest rivers flow through the province. Skateboarding is an extreme sport, just as canoe marathons are an extreme sport, and that's why we decided to pursue this this tourism experience of providing adventure sport or extreme tourism experiences. So it's a perfect fit for the province. Of course, the other attractive thing is the economic development spin-offs from skateboarding. There's a lot of suppliers to an event like this, suppliers that our Department of Economic Development and Tourism support. There's, of course, the opportunity downstream to start retail, to promote retail in skateboarding. There's a lot of benefits in that. Then, of course, it goes also with infrastructure. The government have built 4 extra mini skate parks in the province. And I'm quite sure that other provinces will follow suit because skateboarding in the country is becoming more and more popular.
It's so true. I mean, just recently, this year, there was a young man from Kagiso who was disabled, who was using a skateboard to go to school. And then we had a little bit of negative publicity when it comes to skateboarding in the Western Cape, where a young man was traveling. He broke the speed record there. So skateboarding has been in the headlines. It's been well received in the country.
Yeah, of course. And I'd just like to wrap it up by just saying, you know, in Kimberley this weekend is going to be the biggest event. I mean, we've got, like you said, a lot of performers coming through. We've got A.K.A, Deleuze. I'll also be there emceeing the event. And I've also learned so much from, I mean, I'm not a skater, but I mean, I've learned a lot from this whole experience of skateboarding. So we encouraging everybody in Kimberley in the Northern Cape, come through, support and have some fun.
So Kimberley is the place to be this weekend. Let's leave it there for now. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to wrap it up and go to break, and we'll be back after this.